Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers!
Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to the Main Street Cinema Fan Fest, the show where we discuss the finer points in fan filmmaking. All right, folks. So it has been, what, Dragon, like 10 months?
Roughly 10 months.
Roughly 10 months since the fine folks, the glorious chaps at Just Giggle It, the great men and women of that channel producing all kinds of wonderful comedy content for you. They've got a little bit of a hit on their hands, Dragon. They've got a little bit of a, shall we say, a tentpole show that, while very popular on their channel, it requires a little extra attention to do, thus the hiatus in place. But we're here to once again talk about Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world. Specifically, we're here to talk about episode 5, The Robbery, which Dragon, a teaser trailer just dropped today, which I'm very excited for. It's nice to get back in with these characters.
And honestly, folks, and as this teaser gets into the very top of it, of course, it's been requested and inquired about for many a month, and we're taking all of our similar questions of, oh boy, we can't wait by kind of doing a speculation video on all the cool stuff we're going to see on episode 5, which is coming very soon, December 17th. It has been announced for. We are very hopeful because from what we've been told, of course, it is episode 5 out of a 6-episode first season. I say first season very hopefully. That, of course, these guys are so brilliant. They're so great. Of course, you're going to do second season. It'll be awesome. But,
and this has just gotten like such a big response if that Twitter thing at the beginning was any indication.
Yes, and of course, the folks at JustGiggleIt, let's just take a moment and say there's the most delightful, ingenious bunch of not just fan filmmakers, but just, filmmakers and sketch makers. I guess sketch makers would be more accurate because, again, they do a lot of great sketches, too. Because I've told you before about the making a murderer sketches they've done. I keep going back to this just for fun because I love Piper Henson just still cracks me up in that video so much, where she's the teacher freaks out at Ken Kratz, and it's hysterical. But, yeah, I mean, also I've checked out some of the other videos starring the actor who portrays Howard, just kind of as like the star in the sky, and he's like, these guys know comedy. They're cut above the rest, and they've been very nice to us too. They've also kind of acknowledged our commenting of their material, and it's a big thank you because I guess we're not able to thank them directly, so this also serves as like a thank you guys. There's always for enjoying your work. So it's kind of a little umbrella for all this.
Absolutely.
All right,
Dragon. Factually, is there anything we want to get into? Probably the big thing off top is the recasting.
Well, sure. I mean, again, we're gonna speculate that I don't know if this is reason for delay or not, but if you're gonna recast, it's most likely because we've talked about another show, Super Academy, and they've had to recast their guys before, and they have an excellent job of recasting. It's the way it goes, folks. It's sometimes people have different scheduling conflicts, which I don't know if that causes the delay or not. Maybe, may not. That's on for the Just Giggle It folks.
I mean, I'm not even suggesting there's some sort of like big, hubbubaloo about the recasting at all, Dragon. I'm just saying like we should probably mention it just to, say what we're working with here.
Well, sure. I just wanted to also, it's kind of a big revelation we got with this teaser. It's kind of like the big kind of go-to thing. So to address at the top, the point is, it's recasting, and that if there is anyone out there just may question, again, it's a typical thing, folks. Just you recast most likely for scheduling conflicts. Oh. But again, it's these guys. Tiki, I just want to say it from the top here. I have implicit faith in these guys just from we don't have a lot, but just in the clips, it sounds like Harley Quinn. So I'm very eager. As much as we loved Brianna Oppenheimer, again, hope she's doing some other cool stuff. But again, we loved her in the role.
Well, also just to get into it, of course, I'm sure we'll talk more about it as we go through the trailer. But I think it's really clever how they've done the recasting through a different version of Harley.
Yes, that is interesting. We'll build to that, though. Let's not get all the Harley stuff out of the very, very top.
Okay, Dragon, I'm sorry. One more thing before we start. Do you want to give any sort of plot recap for what we've seen so far?
Well, do you mean in this, or do you mean where we left?
I mean, basically, kind of previously on Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world.
Yeah, well, previously, episode 4 is kind of based around Joker and Harley. Were they were having a little tiff. They were having kind of a tiff. They went to a party, and we kind of got. It was a really great character episode where Joker was having a grand old time. He met his
Dragon. It was the most heartwarming love story revolving around murdering someone I have ever seen.
It was, and that's just so uniquely Joker.
Like the fact that by the end of the episode, I'm genuinely like, "Aw, someone's dead for this moment to happen," but it's so sweet.
And again, we've kind of talked about this before in the other episodes, but again, with the show kind of hits just right, hits just the right balance of kind of the classic Joker Harley dynamic. And I read somewhere, just to verify. I mean, they've answered this for us before, but of course they do. They have they've always kind of looked to kind of all versions of these characters and kind of melded it together. But from what I understand, recently, they do stem initially from the animated series as their initial building block for Joker and Harley Quinn, but then they factor in kind of the comics and basically kind of make a timeless. Timeless is the wrong word, but I mean, kind of a melting pot of iterations of Joker and Harley, but with an animated series basis, which of course is the most notable. Of course, Harley's point of origin, the animated series, which if you're going to do something about Harley Quinn, you're going to have to pull from there, and that's where you have the very complex Joker-Harley relationship. As much as Joker abuses and kind of turns her away, he does that little shriveled heart he has. I'm pulling from Paul Dini on this, and that little shriveled heart he has does care for Harley Quinn.
Is it a little shriveled, like, Grinch heart? Is that the kind of heart we're talking about? With like the fancy like X-ray contraption and everything.
Yeah, in this case, the Joker probably killed the Doctor to steal it. He probably killed the Grinch to steal that film. Actually, it's probably that went down. But yes, the point is they were kind of going through a little tiff. They went to a really nice party. It was a heartwarming little get together. But the important plot point that we continue with here is that what we've been building this season is that Joker has been making Joker and Harley have been moving. They've moved to L.A. They've gotten away from Gotham, and of course, Joker. He is kind of building a new gang. He's kind of building again. The idea is Joker is kind of corrupting L.A. with kind of the with his antics.
And folks, L.A. is not an easy city to get more corrupt than it already is.
Yeah, and again, it's that interesting idea of Joker. They've just Joker and Harley just kind of not then themselves, not really changing, but kind of changing people around them. Again, like, of course, we see with Howie. Howie's now he went from a meter maid to Joker's henchman, which is just it's classic. Feels very Dini-esque, and I'm so thrilled with that. And again, so that's kind of where the Joker's been putting together a gang for reasons we can only speculate towards, and we'll be speculating further. I think the episode title, which again, Teague, when I saw this episode title, honestly, the title alone instantly got me psyched. It was like, one, I was saying, oh my god, another episode 5. Then I saw a trailer. Oh, okay, well, it's close enough. And then I saw the robbery. Like, oh my god, the robbery. It's going to be a huge event. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, I especially love how they, reveal explicitly what's so fun about this robbery, but we'll get to that.
Of course, yeah, again, these Joker's building a network, and one of my favorite characters from the last episode is the last thing I'll point out because it leads directly into this. Daryl. I love Daryl.
Yeah, and let's go into Daryl because he starts out the trailer kind of just as the end of the last episode right here.
Which was the first name drop of the Joker, through a playing card.
Yeah, I like Daryl quite a bit as well. Dragon, there's just so many fun bits with Joker and Daryl in episode 4.
Hit it so well out of the ballpark. It was such a great episode, such an event.
Oh yeah.
Almost like the mid-season. I know it's again, the numbers don't match up on this, folks. So it kind of felt like a mid-season finale, even though they're technically probably 2 episodes.
Of course, you had that great cliffhanger in episode 3. It's like, oh, they've got the classic costumes on. All right.
So Daryl, and of course, we're getting close. No one's really called him Joker yet, but this is the closest we've gotten to it, and it's really kind of neat and buildy. Also, there's Mary. Mary might factor in a little bit. You don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. So I really like this device in the trailer just to show, like, yeah, we're like, Dragon, we're not the only ones, darn it. There's a lot of other people like us.
Those are some smart people enjoying this show, I tell you.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And Dragon, as soon as I saw this, all right, as soon as I saw the head bobbing, I was like, oh yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't even notice the recasting, Dragon. I was just like, oh, this is like right, right back into it, right back into it. Like,
it's really funny. Like with the recasting, I'm with it. But initially I didn't realize it. I sensed that something was different. There was two things in the scene. One, Joker's gloves are a different color because he went with the purple, and now they're just sticking with the white from the big kind of the Alex Ross kind of look they had in the the Suicide Squad look. Episode. Now they're rolling with the white gloves, so he looks even more like the animated series Joker, which is awesome. There's Joker period, the white gloves, and you kind of realize, wait a minute, that's not Brianna Oppenheimer, that's a new girl. But again, she sounds like Harley, so it was like it fools you for a second, like, oh yeah.
Like I said, it's almost kind of like comic book logic that like a new version of Harley Quinn would just like pop up, you know what I mean, in the middle of the story, like inexplicably.
It's always smart casting. You can embody a character before the actor, and it takes you a while to catch up. That's a sign you did a really good job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've had that on Super Academy with certain castings. Like again with Corona, I didn't know Corona was recast, and it was like, oh my god, that's the character. I'm noticing the character before I'm noticing the person.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Of course, this is just a hilarious image that gets me really, really excited. The dumping a body gag here. I just love the mundanity of, okay, after Joker kills someone, we have to get rid of the body. It's a two-person job. You know what? The bodies are heavy, folks. Bodies are heavy. He doesn't have like the giant goons with him yet. I mean, Howie's on a mission.
Then this is basically like the Iron Man 2, like, yes, I'm here, let's deal with it and move on.
Or more specifically, like the Tick. I mean, the Tick, they had like dressed in the costume. Like, you look different.
Right.
Oh, by the way, so it was in the previous scene, but I mean, you probably see it again. It's that, again, while Joker's a little bit more like the animated series Joker in look, she's more like the Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn in look, because now she's got like the red and red and blue shorts, because that was like the one thing I was missing from the Oppenheimer interpretation.
Right, which, like I said, I think is a very smart way to kind of distinguish this this version of Harley from Oppenheimer, while at the same time, having it be a nice transitioning point between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this cute little smile. Again, so far I'm sold on her. Okay, again, it's only like a few.
No, I am too.
Again, I got faith. I'm sure it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. And of course, there's Crystal, our dead girl from previous. She deserved to die, folks. Don't get me wrong. She did deserve to die, though. Not the actress, the character.
Well, no, I hope the actress didn't deserve to die. What's wrong with you?
Oh, she's fine. You know what I mean.
I'm just chapping you.
Now, of course, this is an interesting bit here, and of course, some aftermath. And of course, Tiki, we've been very fascinated from the get-go where we're going with Addison in this season.
Yeah, I think to me, Dragon, Addison is still like the big question mark for me. I really don't know where they're going with it, because at first I thought the plot was going to be that Addison was, going to be like the main character to be corrupted by the Joker. Honestly, Dragon, this is kind of like some base speculation, like going off of episode 4. Like, to me, the whole split persona thing they're building up with her with Party Addison, I think there's some layers to her, and I think they might be building up that at some point Addison might actually become a threat to the Joker.
I take it that is interesting. I'm just still in love with the idea that she's going to kind of roll with the madness. That she's going to kind of. I'm still. I could see it going either way.
There was that tease at the. There was that tease in episode 4 that she might be catching on to the fact that Harley and the Joker, killed her. I'm sorry, was it her
abusive boyfriend?
Yeah, her abusive boyfriend. Right. And so I think that's definitely going to kind of dangle in the air a little bit.
And that's what we're looking at here. Now Addison is in a position with her friend here. And now this is an interesting way that it seems to be that they're going to address this. Again, it's a trailer, so we're kind of spitballing over here, folks. But as it seems, basically her friend Carmilla here, she hosts the house party. And, of course, it's kind of dark. It's a dark joke, but we have the bit where at the house party she goes and she realizes, guys, she's actually dead.
By the way, I love that joke. I actually, I called their reference point, Dragon. They confirmed it in the trailers, where before she says she's actually dead, you know, she's trying to lighten the mood. She's like, "Don't worry, guys, it's fine. The party's still going. Hey, In-N-Out truck's coming in 10 minutes." And Dragon, I'm so proud of myself because I cited like, that was from This Is the End, isn't it? And you know, the comments there are like, "Yep, you got it." I'm like, "Oh, yay, brownie points for Tiki."
Yep. And
happy days.
What's so interesting, it would seem that they're going within the writing here, is that Addison is a character who, again, we've been kind of flirting with the idea of, okay, we had that great tease at the end of the first episode. Okay, there's the bloody sunglasses, which, again, to any ordinary person, you'd imagine, okay, he's dead meat, but again, she kind of rolls with it, and we see it's more like she's an innocent, but now she's being faced with irrefutable suspicion, and now it's kind of irrefutable consequence. Again, the suspicion of what happened to kind of party Addison kind of seeping away, as actual Addison is kind of her. Again, like in Addison's drunken stupor, she's starting to ask the big ethical questions here, like what happened to Frank? You know, she's kind of putting together her mind slowly after that party, and now the direct aftermath of the party, another person has died, and Joker and Harley were there. So now she's absolutely going to be faced with. I think by the end of 5, she's going to she's going to make a definitive choice of how she's going to approach Joker and Harley. So I think we're going to get that at the end of 5. That's
and this face just sums it up. You know what I mean? She's just like, well, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, she could go either way. And again, these are bad people, and that's the great gag about Joker in LA. What we've done so far, it's
like these are clearly bad people, but god damn it, they're fun to hang out with.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because again, we just by LA standards.
I think the party episode really showcased that very well, Dragon. Like, Joker was very clearly a sociopath, and I think the people there at the party, like, it wasn't lost on them that something was off with this guy.
It was a blast.
You know what? This guy's a lot of fun.
And again, that's like it's like the trick of convincing the devil he exists sort of thing here, where
right.
It's Joker. He's a monster. We know he's done horrific things, but darn it, he's charismatic and fun there. And that's the thing. You have a show where it's the Denny O'Neil thing where you follow the Joker for, it's like that miniseries with the Joker. You have like a couple issues where Joker is your main character, so he's, for all intents and purposes, he's the good guy by comparison. Which, putting him in L.A., he goes against some real scummy. Bad people, and again, it's tricking you, the audience, into rooting for him compared to these over the top bad guys.
Dragon, it makes me, oh god, this is a silly joke, and I don't mean to I mean no offense to Just Giggle this, all right? I mean this as a compliment to Just Giggle this, but that weird Martin Scorsese realistic gangster Joker movie.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, right? Makes me wonder, hey, what if we put the Joker and put him into the real world? How would that look?
Oh, God, I never thought of that. Oh,
I said, that's a compliment to Just Giggle It.
And again, Tiki, I think the great barometer I have with the Joker period is, I forget if it was either Ed Brubaker or, I'm sorry, not Ed Brubaker. It was either Greg Rucka or Brian Azzarello. I'm pretty sure it's Azzarello. Who had this great quote about the Joker. It was only one of the documentaries on one of the Batman DVDs where he says, the Joker, when written right, will make you laugh and have you hate yourself for laughing at him afterwards. I think that's the great barometer.
I said Heath Ledger Joker.
Exactly. I'm saying if you have a Joker that's consistent with that philosophy, I think you're on. I agree with full-heartedly if Azrael said that. That's absolutely what you should aim for with the Joker. And again, Heath Ledger being the kind of the prime example for that. Sure, of course, I think Mark Hamill Joker also.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
So in 2-pointer.
Right.
Of course, asking where the heck's Howie. Howie's on a side mission. This to me is funny. It's Howie running an errand, most likely for preparing for the big season finale job.
This is silly, but I love the timing on this where I love that they leave in Howie taking a sip of his Starbucks cup and it's nothing but ice.
He's
I
just
don't know
so
why.
nervous.
Just something about that just really amuses me. That's just like a really fun editing decision.
Maybe it's just he's so nerve wracked. Yes, he's just down
Right,
and all this
right.
coffee, and it's like a stress reliever for him. He's stress drinking coffee. But by the way, so with Howie here, so of course Howie's running an errand. One of my big calls here, and with the title, it got me excited. Now I see what there might directly be relating to with the robbery, as the gag of this trailer alludes to. But I gotta wonder, Tiki, if it's a robbery on two fronts. It's a direct robbery that we're about to see unfold, but I think Joker might be planning a robbery, and that's what Howie's preparing for.
I could definitely see that.
And that might
And
be like
like
the
you
big
said, Joker's been building up a network, so that would make sense.
That's where I honestly that's where I think they might be
Like,
going.
you got to do something with that network, right? Like, that's like the main focal point of the plot.
And again, Daryl is the living proof of that as well. Again, he sees Joker says he's going to call upon him for a favor. We had all got call upon him for a favor, and that's I'm sorry, it's another great again directly related to Harley Quinn too. But you know what I mean.
Yep.
So let's talk about the big robbery. And this is like the highlight right here. Oh God, it's
let me just say, Joshua Thomas, like, my God, his delivery on this is so on point.
Now I do, as much as we praise this show, I do have to just to be fair. And these guys, they've kind of called us on this too. You know, and it's a testament to the show, folks, that we say all these nice things because we truly mean it, folks. I mean, again, the show is just it's brilliant, but if it does something wrong, we just out of fairness and just out of being very cool, we gotta call it out here. And again, like the little makeup inconsistency is a little noticeable here on the Joker. Look at
I didn't even notice it. Let me
it's kind of bad here, just like right there. See, the whole neck is just. I'm saying the other episodes we cover the neck. That's the thing. It's like it's really.
Well.
It's a small quibble. I'm just saying this show is so good. That's like the worst shot.
I'm gonna give Just Giggle It a complete free pass on this one because I did not even notice it. So.
Oh sure, that's what I'm saying, folks. This is like the worst pot shot we could take at this show. Saying, "Hey,
how dare they not cover the Joker's neck in makeup for one shot?"
Exactly.
I'm over this dragon.
I'll tell you what they should have done.
I'm
gonna get all meta with it, Tiki. You know what they should have done?
Oh God, what?
They should have put like a really cool like purple coat on with the makeup, and then you should have like a purple stain from the coat on the makeup, like that man. One shot. In AI, maybe it's intentional, Tiki. Maybe it's an intentional reference to the neck makeup thing from '89.
Sure, let's go with that.
Maybe that. No, I'm kidding. But again, it's a very small clip. I just want to just kind of like that. It's like the worst shot.
So of course they're getting robbed, and
they're delighted.
Oh my God! Just they're both great, but like I said, Joshua Thomas especially is just like hot diggity dog.
Oh, he's so happy.
It's just dragging. It's one of those things where it's like I can't even wrap my mind around how fun it is. The idea that the Joker is just like so giddy about the idea of getting robbed. He just thinks this is just like this is like a highlight of his year right here. You know what I mean?
Now, Tiki, let me speculate to how this scene could unfold here. I got a few ideas real quick. So, of course, I just want to highlight again. I love the build to that scene because we know horrible things are going to happen to this robber.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's just awesome. Again, the reactions to the idea of the Joker being robbed and him laughing his head off at it. Just that's just perfect. It's right on point. But aside from that, here's what might be building up. So this I already mentioned the whole building up to like a big robbery for episode 6, quite possibly. But imagine this. What if what if they kind of went for a big surprise ending with 5, or that we're kind of expecting to build to something with 6? But hey, after this scene, right before Joker does something horrible to this guy, Batman arrives before.
Oh yeah, we speculated about Batman before on this show.
And of course, Tiki, of all things for Batman to thwart, how perverse Batman thwarting Joker being robbed in essentially an alley. I'm just saying it's like that's kind of Batman for better or for worse doing the job, and again kind of save him will kill his parents.
Oh man,
what I mean?
Of course, Dragon. Batman is kind of like one of those things where it's like the creators, they're kind of like sitting behind their monitors like laughing and just like, oh, we know, oh, we're not going to bring Batman on, or of course we're going to bring Batman on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Again, they're holding all the cards here, folks. No,
Of
no
course,
Joker
of
funds
course.
intended there. But that's the thing. This leads us to speculate. It's kind of we're having a good time. They don't need Batman, but again, it kind of makes you wonder if, again, that's like we haven't really addressed Gotham too much in this show, which is fascinating. And again, the fact we're still so entertained with it without having to rely on the other Gotham characters. Again, Joker is enough, and put Joker in an environment, it kind of makes you hold a mirror up to the environments. That's sort of intrigue. And
like I said, it kind of reminds me of like the gritty Martin Scorsese Joker crime drama.
Yes. And of course, in that respect, it's kind of admirable to show that Joker has as equal an impactful legacy as Batman has, and that you can take this character and kind of change the take or the iteration or location on him, and just kind of reinvent a world around it almost.
There's not many supervillains you can do that with. Like, we will see what happens with Sony's Venom movie if that even gets made.
Yeah.
But
they've been threatening us with that Venom movie for a long time.
It's like Dragon at this point, anything's better than the Venom of Spider-Man 3, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's Tom Hardy's Venom. What more do you want? It's like it's a step.
Exactly.
It may not be a big step forward, but hey, it's a step forward. It's something.
Right. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about Justice League.
I mean, look, Tiki. Here's for anyone I know is the last thing I'll say about Venom, because we're getting off point. We're towards the end. So last thing I'll say is that, assuming this is still remains true, because there was a script written way back when. Of course, the script was written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who did the Deadpool movie. So that doesn't get anyone just a little psyched of the prospect of the Venom movie, assuming those guys are still attached.
All right. Anyway,
that's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah. So let's see. We went through my little pet peeve with the makeup. One other pet peeve. This is real silly. This is not in no way a reflection of anything. But we didn't do the end gag that we do in every other episode, where Joker basically gets gets cut off at the end while someone steals the last word from him. We didn't do that this time. But then again, it's a trailer.
How dare they, Dragon?
It's probably because it's a trailer. That's a guess.
Right.
I mean, he did it on that great shout out video, though. I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, so I'm pretty much out of things to speculate. Anything else on your end, friend?
Again, Batman arriving either at the end of this robbery or at least towards the kind of the season kind of finale, if there's a big robbery there. So that's where I'm calling like a Batman reveal towards the tail end of this, and it's it's a hope. It's not a necessity. It'd be cool, but yeah, I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do. And we had all sorts of spec about where Joker and Harley could have. I think we kind of did the whole kind of tempting breakup in episode 4, so I don't think they're going to pull that again. But you never know. So they might kind of go through something in 5, because again, Addison could be a wedge driven between them. So again, if Addison goes that way, it could just be kind of a wet. If kind of morality comes into play, Addison being a friend of theirs, we've seen that Joker. It's not that he likes Addison, but at the same time, he's not. You get a sense that he wouldn't be taken off his game if something bad happened to her.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying, because we know he defended her, but he needed the roommate. That's why he killed Frank. So you got to wonder how attached is Joker to Addison versus Harley. So if something were to happen, or if sides were to be chosen, perhaps Addison tries to redeem Harley or is on her side, it's unclear. But I think your theory is interesting, Tika. That Addison could prove it. Just again, maybe Addison's the one who kind of gets Batman, or just generally the fuzz down on Joker and Harley. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's definitely different roads they could go down. So
I guess again, in the end, we're very, very psyched for episode 5. I can't wait.
Yeah, very excited. Of course, December 17th coming right around the corner. So join us then, folks, and we will definitely be planning a recap podcast, a beat by beat breakdown of that episode, as we do with all the others. And in the meantime, just stay classy, folks. Just stay classy, god darn it.